Today's historic and arguably monumentally consequential opening statements in Donald Trump's hush money trial is testing the entire political and legal system, from the rights of a former president to the Constitution of the United States itself.
And so joining us now is someone who could put it all in context. Michael Beschloss, NBC News presidential historian, and also Mara Liasson, national political correspondent for National Public Radio. Michael, first to you, did the framers ever envision a president, a former president, an aspiring new president going on trial, and what this means for democracy?
They didn't. They thought that they had invented a great system to elect presidents so that we'd have people maybe not quite of the character of George Washington, but probably not someone who would be going on criminal trial. So sadly, today's opening of this trial is a suggestion that the founders failed to prevent that with the way we choose presidents. But, you know, the other thing, Andrea, is we should be celebrating today. And that's not a pro-Trump or an anti-Trump comment. We have one ruler in this country, and our ruler is the rule of law. Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon because he said Americans could never stand the sight of an ex-president going on criminal trial. Well, Americans are seeing that sight today. Do you see any tanks in the streets or uprisings? This shows that our system is working in that respect as well as the founders hoped it would in 1787.
You know, Mara, history will judge this in retrospect, but looking forward, I wonder if you can. I was looking at NPR's coverage of what happened today, and one of the first lines from one of your colleagues was that the jury was 18 everyday New Yorkers, and you have to wonder how everyday voters will view this, and not just view this, but will they be paying close attention to it? I wonder in your reporting what the buzz is.
Well, those are two very different questions, and I think that the vast majority of everyday voters are not paying attention. And of course, because the news landscape and environment is so kind of atomized and fractured. If you're watching Fox, you're not going to hear much about this. If you're watching MSNBC, you're going to hear a lot more. So I don't think this is the kind of thing that's gripping the nation, but I do think it really matters. Michael's right. Donald Trump has been a huge stress test on a lot of democratic institutions, and now he's going to be a stress test on our judicial system. He is being judged by a jury of his peers. That is a powerful, powerful thing about democracy. Ordinary people are going to decide his fate. And the stakes are really, really high. I mean, you heard that in the opening arguments today. His lawyers are arguing that nothing wrong with trying to influence an election. That's what politics is.
And, Michael, how important is it to have some outcome? Not a hung jury, not a mistrial, but just some decision in this case?
I think it's absolutely essential, and we may not get it. So we've got to be grown-up Americans and say that our system works, but it is not always perfect, and it doesn't always give us a resolution that everyone agrees with. And the other thing, and this draws totally on what Mara just said, a feature of 2024 and the time that we're living in, you know, there was a verdict, for instance, with Richard Nixon, to use that example. He was driven out of office to avoid going to prison. And most Americans, even Republicans, said, yes, I like certain things about Nixon, but, you know, he had broken the law and would have gone possibly to jail had he been tried. We don't have that kind of consensus nowadays. So no matter, there's going to be a considerable number of Americans saying, we think that there was something wrong with this process. That's why it's so important that this go as well as possible.
And, you know, it brings it all home that these are a jury of your peers. These are everyday Americans. I wonder about the poor lady with the toothache. Did she get to the dentist? Was he or she able to fix it? Will she be in the jury box tomorrow?
That's such a great point, though, because they really are people with real lives who are setting them aside for they don't know how long, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe longer. They saw the concerns that other jurors expressed, right? And yet they've decided that this is important to them and that the system is something that they want to be a part of.
So that says a lot about our system, Michael.
Michael
Would be great.
Beschloss, Mara Liasson, I wish we had more time. We could talk forever. Thank you both so much for being with us on this very important day.
Hey, everyone. MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.